am Annesha and today I am back once again here to discuss about the meiotic phases of cell cycle. In my previous video I have already discussed about the first two phases of cell cycle, that is interphase and mitosis. Here I am going to discuss about meiosis. Now what is meiosis? Meiosis is basically the production of offsprings in sexually reproducing organisms by the fusion of two gametes, each of which has a complete haploid set of chromosomes. Now, meiosis is also known as a reductional division. Just in my previous video, as I have discussed why mitosis is known as the equational division, here I am going to discuss elaborately why meiosis is known as the reductional division and what exactly are the stages that actually leads to the reduction in the chromosome number. But to start with, initially we need to know that meiosis is known as a reductional division because in meiosis we can see that the chromosome number in the daughter cells get exactly reduced by half of the chromosome number that was present in its parental generation. So the chromosome number is getting reduced, and that is why meiosis as a whole is referred to as a reductional division of cell cycle. Now meiosis is very important because in sexually reproducing organisms only meiosis will give rise to the haploid phase of cell cycle. Now how is this meiosis initiated? Now, meiosis initiates only after the parental chromosomes have replicated to produce identical sister chromatids at the end of S phase. Now, what exactly happens at meiosis? Basically, we are going to discuss the stages sequentially, but exactly now what happens in meiosis is basically, first of all, two basic things happen in meiosis, that is pairing of the homologous chromosomes and recombination of the non-sister chromatids of the homologous chromosomes. Now these two events, that is pairing of the homologous chromosomes and recombination of the non-sister chromatids of the homologous chromosomes, basically signify meiosis. Okay. Now how does meiosis occur? Meiosis first starts with two sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division, but we need to remember that though there are two sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division, there is only one cycle of DNA replication. And these two sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division are better known as meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Now this meiosis 1 can again be subdivided into 4 substages and meiosis 2 can again be subdivided into 4 substages. Now meiosis 1 is subdivided into 4 stages, that is prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. And similarly meiosis 2 is again subdivided into prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. Now the first stage of meiosis 1, that is prophase 1. Now this prophase 1 is by far the most longest and also the most complex part of this entire cell cycle event. Okay. Now this prophase 1 can be subdivided into 5 substages, namely leptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin and diakinesis. So let's start with the first stage of prophase 1, that is leptotin. Now in this phase the chromosomes are slowly visible under the light microscope, and as the process of leptotin continues, the chromosomes slowly and gradually becomes more and more condensed before they enter into the second stage of prophase 1, that is zygotin. Now the second stage of prophase 1, which is known as the zygotin. The main event of the zygotin is here the chromosomes will start pairing by a process which is known as synapsis, and they will ultimately lead to the formation of the homologous chromosomes. Now from electron micrograph studies we can see that the process of formation of the homologous chromosome is basically aided with the formation of a specialized very complex structure which is known as a synaptonymal complex. That is, this synaptonymal complex is responsible for the formation of the homologous chromosomes. A pair of synapsed homologous chromosome is known as a bivalent or the tetrad. Here, though electron micrograph studies help us to see the chromosomes, but the better chromosomes can be seen in the next stage, that is in the third stage of prophase 1, which is also known as the Pachytene stage. Now we can say that the Pachytene stage is quite a bit longer than these two phases, that is the leptotene phase and the zygotene phase. That is, it lasts a bit more than these two short-lived phases, that is the first two phases of prophase 1. Here we can see that the four chromatids of the bivalents become clearly distinct and they can be visible. Now we also find here that the formation of the recombination nodule takes place, which is actually the site of the crossing over. Now what is crossing over? Crossing over is basically the exchange of the genetic material between the non-sister chromatids of the homologous chromosome. Now this crossing over is mainly responsible for recombination, which in turn will lead to the evolution of certain new species. So this is very important. Crossing over is also accompanied by the presence of a very important enzyme which is known as the recombinase. Now this recombinase enzyme is absolutely essential for successful crossing over to take place. Now this crossing over site, as I told you just now, is basically the recombination nodule. In this stage we will find that the chromosomes will remain separated and they will be only joined at the sites of the crossing over. Now the end of Pachytene actually marks the beginning of the second last stage of prophase 1, namely diplotene. Now the beginning of diplotene is marked by the dissolution of the synaptonymal complex. The major event of this stage of diplotene is we can find that the homologous chromosomes of the bivalents will actually start to separate and move away from each other, and they will only remain attached or joined at the sites of crossing overs. Now this event of separation, just remaining attached only at the points of crossing overs, will give them an X-shaped structure. So this X-shaped structure of the chromosome is known as the chiasmata. In the oocytes of any vertebrates, generally these Pachytene stage or the formation of chiasmata can last for several months, or it can in some cases even last for years in certain specific vertebrates. Now we come to the last and the final stage of prophase 1, that is known as diakinesis. The major or the remarkable or the noteworthy event of this diakinesis stage is the terminalization of the chiasmata. We have already seen that the chiasmata is the X-shaped structure of the chromosome which was formed just in the previous stage, that is in the diplotene stage. But here in this stage of diakinesis, the chiasmata will be terminalized. The chromosomes will become more and more condensed and compact so that they can be easily visible under the microscope. The meiotic spindles will gradually prepare the homologous chromosomes for separation. Now with these events, as this stage progresses, gradually it comes towards the end when we will see that the nucleolus will disappear with the simultaneous breaking down of the nuclear envelope. We need to know that this is the last and the final stage of prophase 1, and this stage actually marks the transition between prophase 1 and metaphase 1. That is, diakinesis will be gradually followed by metaphase 1 of meiosis 1. So that was all for the day. Hope you have all enjoyed my video. If you have really liked this video, please like it, share it with all your friends and families, and to get more and more such videos, please subscribe SS Tutorials. If you have any doubt regarding this video, you can pretty well write it down in the comment section below, and for any further updates, you can also contact me personally in the given information below. Thank you guys. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.